Hello everybody, thanks for joining me on this channel. So the Golden Globe Awards just aired on NBC and this is my reaction video. So I'm just gonna read off to you, the list of winners, and I'm gonna give you my general opinion about what I think of their selection. So I'm gonna start from the bottom of the Wikipedia page and then just work my way up to, the bigger better categories. So, best miniseries or television film went to Chernobyl. That's obvious. I mean, that was such a great show. That was a no-brainer. Supporting actor in a limited series or television film went to Stellan Skarsgård from Chernobyl, which I was very happy about. Everybody on that show killed it. I mean, that was just like a great show. Patricia Arquette, yeah, I'm happy for her. I heard good things about the act. Got political, but that was expected. Russell Crowe won for Best Performance by a Male Actor in a Miniseries or Television Film. And that was interesting because he played Roger Ailes. Sadly he couldn't be at the ceremony to accept his award because, of what's happening in Australia. That's obviously more important, and I wish him and his family and everybody in Australia, including the animals, just watch out for yourselves, and I hope you guys will remain safe. Michelle Williams won for Fosse Verdon. Saw the show, it was a very typical musical biopic of, Gwen Verdon and Bob Fosse and their marriage and, their collaboration. They all did a pretty good job, so I am very happy for Michelle Williams. Rami Youssef won for performance by an actor in a television series, musical, or comedy. I was pretty happy for him because sometimes we know with auditions it's very hard to land a job, so you give yourself a job, you write it, you produce it, you direct it yourself, and there you go. So good for Rami. Phoebe Waller-Bridge won for Fleabag. I love that show so much. I have nothing against this win whatsoever. I love her. I love that show. So good for her. Moving on. Brian Cox won for the show Succession. Now, I've never watched the show Succession, and I don't know that much about Brian Cox, but I do know that Brian Cox played the role of LBJ in the sequel to All the Way, The Great Society. Now, All the Way is a show that will always remain close to my heart because I got to be an extra on the film adaptation of that play, starring Bryan Cranston. I was pretty happy for Brian Cox just knowing the fact that he took over for Bryan Cranston in that play. So, good for him, and good for Olivia Colman. She won Best Actress in a TV series drama for playing Queen Elizabeth II in the third season of The Crown. I did kind of find it a little bit different from Claire Foy's turn as Elizabeth II in The Crown, but she really made it her own. She almost scared me at times because of how stern the Queen was to her children, especially Charles. Olivia Colman is also just a great actress. I loved her in my favorite film from last year, The Favorite. So it's nice to see her win an award for this one. And of course, Best TV Series Drama, Succession. Don't know much about that show, but alright. And Musical Comedy, Fleabag, absolutely. Congratulations to Fleabag. God, that show is great. If you guys have access to Amazon Prime, go check it out. You won't regret it. So, let's move on to the movie side. Just to let you know, what was interesting about this year's Golden Globes is that I was actually more excited for the television side more than the movie side. For one reason, because I didn't really care for much of the films that got nominated. Best Animated Feature Film went to Missing Link. That was surprising because, for one thing, this movie came out way earlier last year, and this movie bombed. It was made on a budget of $100 million and only made $26 million back. And with all the nominees that it's up against, Frozen 2, How to Train Your Dragon 3, The Lion King, The Lion King being nominated for animated feature film, that's just hilarious. And Toy Story 4, which I thought this award was going to go to. So that's actually really surprising, and I haven't seen Missing Link, so I can't really judge it on whether or not this was warranted or not. I'll probably see it now that it's won an award. And yeah, it's a very interesting choice. Best Foreign Language Film, Parasite, no brainer. Moving on. Original Song. I didn't care for any of these songs. Cats. I have not seen Cats, so I can't judge Beautiful Ghosts. Into the Unknown, it was okay, but it's like, it's not Let It Go. Spirit from The Lion King, that was a garbage movie. I ignored it. I have not seen Harriet, so I cannot judge stand-up. I have seen Rocket Man, but I cannot remember the song I'm Gonna Love Me Again. It was nice to see Elton and Bernie accept the award together because, you know, their friendship was like the main core of this film. And that was just nice to just see the two of them who have been friends for like over 50 years accept an award together. I thought that was romantic. I cannot pronounce her last name, but Hildur, the composer for Joker, she won Best Original Score, and when that happened I was like, yes, 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 yes. And fun fact for all of you guys, she is actually the first female solo winner in that category in the history of the Golden Globe, so good on her. Alright, Best Director. I was like, whoa! It went to Sam Mendes for 1917. I was very surprised because I actually thought that this was going to be either, you know, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood's year or The Irishman's year, because the Hollywood Foreign Press Association loves Martin Scorsese. I mean, they gave him an award for Hugo. They did award Quentin Tarantino with Best Screenplay. Now, I gotta tell you, I like Quentin Tarantino. I think he has written some great scripts in the past, but Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, to me, felt like his weakest film. When I first saw it, I thought this film has great production designs, great costumes. It really, really looked like Hollywood in the 1960s. And the best judge for that is Quentin Tarantino himself, because he was trying to rebuild his childhood, and I think he did just that. He did a good job with that. But in terms of his direction and the pacing, this movie just dragged. It was just so long and it didn't feel like a story. More like just an inside look into these people and what their daily lives are like and, you know, what's happening in Hollywood at the time. But I just found it very uninteresting, which is a shame because the performances in this film are probably, you know, the career bests. And if you want more proof, Best Supporting Actor went to Brad Pitt. You know, I was really okay with this. Really, I was. He deserves this. His character as the stunt double for Leo DiCaprio's character in the film, he was truly a great support for his character. He was very level-headed, you know, he was the voice of reason, and if it weren't for him, he would have been dead. Supporting actress went to Laura Dern for Marriage Story. If you go on YouTube, there is a clip of Laura Dern's one monologue about how society has, you know, what is expected of a woman in marriage. You know, she has a rant about all that. So I have a feeling that one scene alone probably won her this award. I mean, fine, I guess. I mean, if I had a choice, I would probably either Kathy Bates or Margot Robbie. I mean, whatever. Taron Egerton won Best Actor in a Musical or Comedy for Rocket Man, and I was pretty happy about that. Yeah, I wasn't too crazy about the other nominees. Daniel Craig, it would have been interesting to see him win. Roman Griffin Davis, I haven't seen Jojo Rabbit, so I can't judge. Leonardo DiCaprio, he actually did a good job, but like I said, I didn't like the movie that much, so I'm kind of biased. Eddie Murphy in Dolomite Is My Name, he did a good job, but that was kind of a cookie cutter of a biopic movie. And now moving on to Best Actress in a Musical or Comedy, Awkwafina. This was a given. She was going to win this award no matter what. And The Farewell is a swell picture, guys. You guys should check it out. Best Actor in a Drama, Joaquin Phoenix. You just have to give this guy that award. Yeah, this was a really good category, though. Christian Bale for Ford vs. Ferrari, Antonio Banderas for Pain and Glory, Adam Driver for Marriage Story, and Jonathan Pryce for The Two Popes. Every single one of these people probably did give a good performance. I say probably because I haven't seen Pain and Glory, so I can't really judge on Antonio Banderas, but he is a good actor. Best Actress in a Drama. Now, I was very skeptical as to where this was going, but I am very happy that Renee Zellweger won this award. When I watched Judy, she was stellar, and she does something in this film that I felt really represented the duality of Judy Garland. Offstage, she is just this hurt and tired person, going through drug addiction and, marital troubles. But when she is on stage, she transforms. And Renee was able to capture that energy. And we see that flip. And it's extraordinary. When I saw her perform on stage as Judy, it's like, yeah, this is a totally different person right now. It's extraordinary. She deserved that award. Okay, now Best Picture, Musical or Comedy, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Fine. I mean, I would have preferred Knives Out. Whatever. It's called Hollywood Foreign Press for a reason. And in fact, a lot of award shows like to worship Hollywood. But Best Motion Picture, just like the Best Director category, I was actually surprised. 1917. Guess this means I have to watch 1917. This film was actually released earlier last year in like December of 2019. But the problem with living in Ohio is that we have to get those kind of releases that are, released early in New York or Los Angeles much later. So I have to see that film now. I'm still surprised because I really thought that the Hollywood Foreign Press Association would go for The Irishman because they love Scorsese. I would have preferred it to go to Joker or The Two Popes. But you know what? All in all, I'm just happy that it didn't go to Marriage Story. That was such an overrated film. Anyway, that's the list, guys, and that's my initial reaction. So thanks for watching my video, ladies and gentlemen. I hope to see you again next time.